Hello everyone, and welcome back to the third part of the constructicons review, and this is of course the G1 constructicons. This particular figure is called Scrapper, and I shall bring in his backing card as I've done with the other figures, so you can see the G1 artwork. Pretty nice backing cards on these original figures. Again, this one was from Woolworths back before, of course, it just ended up as an online shop because it went broke. I mean, these were actually from 1985 or thereabouts. So I've had them a good few years, let's just put it that way, more than I care to mention. As you can see, you got all of the individual vehicles and the main Devastator picture at the top there, and then you've got another little bit of artwork of the individual figure himself, what he came with, and his basic transformation instructions, and of course where to put these stickers. I'll bring his little bit of the blurb in so you can pause that and read all about him. Rather than me reading it out to you, it's probably easier to read it. But yeah, that's Scrapper's card. Now, he didn't come with as many accessories as Bone Crusher and Scavenger. He only had two little bits sort of with him. Now, obviously, first of all, I actually still had, when I got these figures out, I actually still found that I had the original sticker backing inside the bubble on his cards. Again, there's the original sticker backing as they used to come. He came with, as parts, his own little blaster, and again individual to him. I'll get that in the light so you can see the detail on it. Probably quite difficult as such to get the proper individual blasters these days. You probably pay the best part of about £10 for that, and to be honest, if you're not really going to display them in individual forms, unless you're a real completionist, you probably don't really need these little guns. But of course I've hung on to them because of course this was mine originally when I was younger, and so I wouldn't get rid of them. But if you're a collector and you're collecting a set of G1 constructicons, I would say you could probably get away with leaving those without the need for spending out a load of money on some individual little weapons, simply for the fact that you're probably going to end up displaying this guy with the others as Devastator anyway, so you won't need those for that. Now, the other part he did come with, which would have been in this other bubble up here, is of course Devastator's chest piece. Now, as such, it's quite a nice moulded part, again with some nice little sticker details, all original. None of these are sort of repro label, these are all the original metallized stickers. As you can see, there's even some G1 dust still in the top there where it was displayed. Yeah, not a bad little sort of moulded shield, not quite cartoon accurate, but not bad. And on the back you've got various peg holes in the centre there, which correspond with parts when he's formed as Devastator, and a little clip and another little post on that wing as well, which all come into play when he's combined. Now, in this mode you use these two little, I suppose they're called sockets, would be as good a description as anything. And where Scrapper is in his vehicle mode, you'll see he's got two posts, which are like the exhausts on the digger mode. And the wing clips on, if you line them up correctly. It's a little bit, you've got to poke the front of the wing under the canopy just to get it in there and line them up. And then that fits on there like so in digger mode. So you effectively end up with a flying digger, which, let's face facts, that doesn't really work. You could say it could be pylons for weapons, or these could be blasters on the end, I suppose, but as such, a flying digger is ridiculous. So a bit of a redundant sort of like feature. And unfortunately as well, there's nowhere when he's in his vehicle mode to put his little blaster, which would have been nice. All they'd have had to have done was make a little hole in the canopy or even on the side so you could have mounted it. But again, they've missed a little trick there with that one. Now I'll give you a little look at his vehicle mode, which is reasonably basic. It's one of the more simplistic of the constructicons for actual vehicle and transformation. They did have a couple of nice little touches. They put some chrome on the wheels, which again has stayed really well. But yeah, not a real amount of detail there. You know, not even really a moulded in cab or seating area as such for the driver. But well, this is G1, what do you expect? Anyway, let's get to his transformation, which will literally take a couple of seconds. First of all, you just flip the back section of the digger round. Now as you do, it actually naturally moves both sections apart to form individual legs as a gap. Now they don't really sort of like work as legs moving independently. There is a little bit, you could say, knee movements. You could kind of just about pose him like if he's walking, but that's about it. There's no hip articulation on these figures. As you can pretty much see, his arms are just literally hanging there at the sides, which are the sides of the digger. There is no transformation in that sense. You don't have to pull them out or anything. They just sort of just move up effectively to make his arms. Now with his bucket of the digger itself, you just sort of fold that back like so, and it becomes a huge big cable. It would have been better if that had swung right round to the canopy, so at least it would have sort of kind of blended in a little bit onto his back. And then last but not least, you've got a little black piece at the back here, and you just need to pull that up with your fingernail. And if you're lucky, he will stay up. It doesn't click in as well as some of them do, but you get his little head detail there. And I'll bring him in so you can see all the lovely G1 stickers what this guy came with, and of course his little face detail where they picked out again his sort of, I suppose, his visor, or his mouth I should say, and his little forehead bit in a little bit of silver, which is at least a little bit of detail, which is quite nice. But it's really down to sticker details to really sort of give him a bit of colour at this stage. He's not a little bad sort of robot, pretty much the standard sort of thing with a Gestalt individual transformer. Now obviously he's got his rub sign there as well on his leg, and of course now we've got him in robot mode, you can peg in his little blaster, so he's got his own little gun. But yeah, that's pretty much it for Scrapper. As I say, a little bit kibbly to say the least on his back, but it doesn't look too bad from the front, so you can kind of live with that. I'll bring the same figure I've been using for a size comparison for you so you can see what size he is. That's a Legends class figure, and he's a little bit taller, as they all sort of like seem to be, than the Legends figures. But again, as I've said in the other reviews, you're not really buying this guy for his individual mode. They're quite nice, but you're going to want to put them together and make Devastator. But yeah, that's about it really for Scrapper. Hope you enjoyed the review. This is, as I say, the third one of the 6 for the individual modes. I will probably do a 7th video for the combined mode, but I feel they deserve a video of their own for each individual character, just really to show their own transformation and the pros and cons with them. One thing I did point out on the other videos, and I will sort of point out on him as well, is the bucket on this one is pretty good for matching colour wise, but you will notice the canopy is a lighter colour green plastic. That's actually better the way that the light's gone there. Shows it up a little bit better. It's a lighter colour, always was. So if you see one like that, it's not anything wrong with it. It hasn't colour faded. That is actually how he came, and it's, I think, just sort of one sort of basic sort of flaw with the differences in the plastic, because that's more slightly more rubberized, I think, plastic than the hard plastic of the main sort of like moulding of these figures. But anyway, that is Scrapper. I hope you've enjoyed that review, and hope you stay with me to go through all 6 Constructicons, and I shall see you again for the next one. Thanks for watching.